This is the plaintiff, Tony Robinson. She says she stored her washer and dryer at the defendant's house, who she knew through work, and now she wants them back and the defendant refuses. The washer and dryer are her property. She paid for them and is suing the thief here and now for the $1,212.60 she's owed. This is the defendant, Crystal Frazier. She says the plaintiff asked her to store her washer and dryer for a month, and she ended up storing it for almost 3 years. She had asked the plaintiff numerous times to pick them up. The woman never showed, so she got rid of them because she needed the room for her own washer and dryer. Owe the plaintiff all that money for something she clearly abandoned? No way. She's accused of playing dirty.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. The plaintiff says she stored her washer dryer at the defendant's house, and the defendant won't return them. But the defendant says 1 month turns into 3 years, and it was abandoned. It's the case of washer. He hardly knew her.
Tony Robinson?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you are suing Crystal Frazier for $1,212.60. The amount owed, the amount you say she owes you for a washer and dryer of yours that she discarded without your authority. What happened?
September the 3rd of 2013, we had to move from where I was at, which we was moving into a senior citizen building, which the senior citizen building at that time already had their own washer and dryer, so we was unable to bring ours. And I had just got done paying for mine. So we was packing up and everything. Her husband was discussed it with my husband that we could bring it over there because she already had her own washer and dryer. So her husband, my husband...
Well, then where's she going to put your washer and dryer if she has her own?
In the basement with hers.
Were they using it, or they were just going to store it?
They were just going to store it until we moved back into our a regular house.
Did you speak with her husband, or did he speak with her husband?
He spoke with her husband.
Okay. What was it you said to her husband?
Her husband, he mentioned it. When we was moving out, we told him we couldn't take our washer and dryer with us. He said, yo, man, I got enough room in my basement, so you can put it down in my basement until you find where to move it. So it's okay.
For how long?
After that year was up in the senior citizen building, we was gonna get us another apartment.
Okay.
Now, I see him all the time. He called me Pops. I call him my son. I mean, I don't want this house, he don't came to our house, ate and everything. I mean, so it wasn't like we just abandoned it.
Right.
I mean, we seen him like on a regular basis. So we still was communicating.
And how long had passed? A year?
Yes. I had been talking
Because I'm looking at it and it looks like it's 2 years.
Okay, say 2
About 18
years.
months, yeah.
About 18 months.
Well, no. September of 2013 until September of 2015 is 2 years.
But you're right, and I understand you. And I had called her to let her know, and then I wind up doing 2 months in the hospital. See, I'm an asthmatic, and I had to get intubated. So I was unable, all my holidays and everything, I stayed in the hospital. So I was unable to contact her.
Okay,
but,
and in that meantime, were you all friends and talking to each other?
Yes, and I still don't have nothing against her.
What happened? You tell me your version. What happened?
Well, first of all, they're saying they stay in contact with my ex-husband. We're no longer together. So if they're in contact with him, that has nothing to do with me. I'm not really in contact with him, so...
He doesn't live in the place where the basement is. Okay.
No, I actually moved, so we no longer even live in that address anymore.
When you moved, did you take those machines with you?
We did let my ex-husband did let him know that we were moving. We moved in February of this year, and let them know that we were moving, and they needed to come get it. They didn't come.
How do you know your ex-husband let them?
I heard him on the phone with him, and told him that we were moving.
Who was he talking to?
He calls him Papa Huey, so he was talking to him.
Wait, what happened with your move?
We moved. We did
and
move, and it did
with him.
come
You were
with,
still with him at the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
you moved to the new place.
Right. We brought it with us, and come late May, I spoke with her again. She said she was gonna come and get it the first weekend of June of this year. She never showed up. She did call me like 2 weeks later to let me know that she was in the hospital, but I haven't talked to you in 2-3 weeks.
You
so
had already
at that point
you had already gotten rid of it?
Yeah, because my new one came in, and when they came to bring it in, they took the other ones out.
So she didn't show up and she didn't call.
Right.
And you had them haul away the other ones by the time she called you.
Right. My understanding from whatever conversation they had, whether they told him it was going to be a year, my understanding it was only going to be a month. So I already had my own. So what I'm going to do with it? And as small as it's an apartment size one, I can't use it. I got 5 kids at home. I can't use that.
Had you had a plan with her and then you got sick?
I told her that I was gonna come get it, but her telling me that she moved before, was on her way to move, I never heard that. I have her same phone number here.
She says that her ex contacted him and told him, we're moving. Well, I can't imagine that they're gonna move and they're not gonna tell you, come get your stuff, we're moving. What are they gonna do, put it on their heads? It's hard to move. It's not like it's a duffel bag, it's a washer and a dryer. Are you seriously telling me that the husband did not call you and say, we're moving, you need to?
No, ma'am.
Why would he want to add to the things he has to move without informing you?
I understand what you're saying, man, but they never let us know they was moving.
I got a feeling they let him know.
No, somebody on the street that I know, 'cause I lived in the apartment that we moved out of for about like 7 years. Everybody in the whole neighborhood know me, called me Pops and Papa UA and whatnot. So like one of them came over my house one day. The guy came to my house. I said, do the people still live there that got my wash and dryer? He said, no, man, they been moved.
He just said that you see him, like, he just said that they see him all the time. So
why
how
didn't
did
they
you
ask
not
him?
know? How did you not know?
If you see her ex all the time, why didn't something come up with, through the ex to talk to her?
We did talk to him.
We've been reaching her. She won't answer our calls.
We did talk to him, and every time we called him, we moved into our new building. He would always say, well, Mom or Pops, it's all right.
I've come over this, come over that.
We got it. It's okay.
Except for that you've been separated from him for how long?
7 months. We've been separated 7 months. So for him to say we got it, that's...
When did you move to the new place?
In February. So we separated shortly after we moved, yes.
But she done
And
moved
when
twice.
was she supposed to meet you there and get it?
June. She said the weekend of June, because I actually spoke to her on the phone, so she knew I moved. Because when she called me in late May and said that she could come get it the first weekend of June, I told her I moved down the street. I don't live there anymore.
And was she surprised?
No, she didn't sound like she was surprised.
Well,
she said,
knows?
okay.
All right, so it's May when you talked to her?
Yes, late
And
May.
then she's supposed to pick it up when?
The first weekend of June.
Do you have any hospital records to show that you were hospitalized, by the way, in June?
No, I didn't. I wasn't even thinking to bring them, ma'am.
How do I know you weren't just ignoring your responsibility because you had free storage and you really didn't have a need for it?
No, I would never do that. Because
when did you move? What I meant was in May of 2015, where were you living?
in the senior citizen building.
No, we moved in April.
So if you moved there in April, did you tell him that you made a plan to pick it up?
That I finally talked to her and I
and
told
that I'm picking
her,
it up the first weekend in June.
I didn't say the first week in June. I told her that I'll be able to pick it up as soon as I can. Now
Oh, so
that
they're
I'm
just
out.
indefinite. You get to store it there and it's not considered abandoned at any point in time in the course of 2 years.
So 2 years pass and the plaintiff never gets in touch. Are the washer dryer abandoned?
Yes, absolutely.
How much time before something gets abandoned if you just leave it at somebody's house and don't pick it up? What do you think is reasonable?
I think a reasonable amount of time would be 60 days.
60 days? Okay, is this abandoned for sure so the plaintiff can do whatever she wants with it?
Absolutely, after 2 years, yes.
What do you think? What's a reasonable time?
1 year.
1 year, okay. Going inside the courtroom.
You can't just have other people store your stuff for free
for
year after year. And then when they finally have had it, they didn't hear from you. And nobody ever called her to say, listen, we can't pick it up. She's in the hospital, whatever. There's absolutely no contact. How can you complain that she did something wrong? I'm sorry. It's unfortunate. I feel bad that it happened. I'm sure you feel bad that it happened. I know you guys feel bad that it happened. But I just don't see how that means that she's got to pay you $1,212.60 for two things that you stored for free, well past the time that they were going to be her problem. Verdict for the defendant.
I couldn't find her, man.
So the verdict's in. Let's see what the plaintiff has to say about this. Come on over here. Well, what happened in there?
Well, she said that I was kept in contact with her. I have a hard time trying to contact her. He contacted the husband, and this is the way it went. But as far as so much that I'm glad it's over, but I hated I lost.
Yeah, it hurts to lose. You fought your fight in court. But look, what else could they have done for you?
Pick the phone up and answer it so that I can come get my washer and dryer, and she never did.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, so step on in here. You give us kind of a smile. What's you think?
It's just funny. They're just funny.
Yeah?
It's just ridiculous. Like, you bring me to court for something. I stored for you for 2 years, and it was supposed to be a month. So, I mean, it's whatever it is. I don't care.
Whatever. Harvey?
This is a very tricky area of the law, Kurt, and it really varies, not just from state to state, but sometimes from city to city, where it depends on the kind of property that's abandoned. There are certain things, for example, a dog is different than a piece of jewelry. So it's a very tricky thing. What I would suggest, if you ever end up with property where it's somebody else's and you don't know what to do, go online and type in your city and the word abandoned and see what you get. But you could also call your local police department and find out. Again, this is a tricky situation, and sometimes you pick something up and you assume it's yours and it's not yours, and then you end up on the receiving end of a lawsuit, and if you're not careful, you could lose.